Good afternoon and good afternoon on the Third Empire. My name is Ronaldo and I want to welcome you to the Third Empire this afternoon. So good afternoon to you. Good afternoon to all the listeners and the viewers on YouTube, on Facebook. Good afternoon to those of you who are to and fro from work. Those of you who leaving shift, those of you picking up shift, good afternoon. And good afternoon to the owners and operators of this great radio station, Mr. Neil Iwer George and his family. And before I go even further, Senior Matteson is with me and I will introduce the senior. I want to say thanks to God, because over the weekend I had a near, in my opinion, fatal accident. And, I thank everybody on this show. When we leave, we could do it usual, but I must put things in the proper order. So the injuries were, not that serious, but to say exactly what happened and why I'm still in this chair, I don't know. And I heard Philip Alexander say something on a Facebook post. He's a man of many words, and he talked about having a near-death accident in 2023 or 2003, some year. And, in essence, he was talking about the background for some stiffer road penalties in terms of drivers and accidents and etc. And he said something, he said, you only know it when it hits home. And some of us have never been hit by a drunk driver, by somebody without a license and insurance. Some of us have never been a victim of any car accident or incident or our loved ones. So that might be trivial to us. But an unlicensed driver on an insured vehicle, and when I'm saying unlicensed, not somebody who doesn't have the license on their person, somebody who hasn't the license to drive, there's a myriad of issues that happens after. And most times, if you think about taking action, you may get a judgment on paper. But what would happen? Life loss, somebody in the hospital fighting for their life. So sometimes we really have to consider initiatives by the state, any state, that is geared towards a certain ill in society, but will have some inconvenience. Most times the two things go together. Good afternoon, Senior Matteson.
Yeah, good afternoon. And good afternoon to all those listening to us, all those who continue to listen to us from time to time, all those in New York, wherever you are, Miami, Florida, wherever and listening to us, good afternoon. And as you would have said, thanks for the owners and managers of this great radio station, and even our producer for giving us this opportunity to do the show every evening. That's what they talk about sometimes, that incident or that near-death experience you had over the weekend. Sometimes we trivialize things.
Yes.
And, a lot of people who trivialize things or even who would have challenged certain things today are not here with us.
Yes.
Because they didn't understand all the elements of, what it takes to, think. And when you explain to me what happened in that accident, I was saying, wow, this could have been
anybody.
You didn't have to be here today.
No.
And the fact is, that person mash up, and they
didn't stop.
And as the police gotten onto that, clearly that person might have been a person without insurance and probably was drunk.
Yes.
The sad thing is, it could have injuries, serious injuries.
And operating a motor vehicle under the influence of alcohol is a serious thing.
It is.
It is not a practice of mine. I don't really drink like that. But that is a very serious and dangerous thing. It's almost as you're carrying a weapon.
He probably fell asleep or something.
Had to be. Because I had just braced my hand for impact. Because I could not believe that I'm seeing headlights on my side heading straight to me.
At that speed.
At that speed.
Wow.
Sometimes somebody will come veer to your side, but there's enough room
To pull out.
to pull aside. But I just pull aside and turn my face.
Mm.
Yeah. And I heard the mirror clap back and the car move. I braced for impact already. I slowed down. When it happened, the guy behind me, his eyes open wide. He said, "So you all right?" Well, my hand was bleeding. He said, "So when I see he coming, I duck behind you." He said, "When I see that, whatever it is, a plane coming down St. Lucian Road in Diego Martin, I duck behind you." So, you know, in all fairness, I pull in front to see if you're okay. I said, "I'll be okay, man. Just, you see the damage on the car." I didn't even know the car can't drive. It's when I mashed gas, you hear the tire. And I wanted to know what passed me just now. A plane, a bus. I wasn't too sure. I wasn't too sure what, and I didn't even watch. Because I told the officers when I went to West End, I closed my eyes. And I want to commend the officers at West End. I didn't even take names. They said to me, because sometimes police confuse you with their procedure. Every station you go, the procedure seems to be different. Right? But the police said to me, he said, "Listen, you see that R9 form you will have to fill out for the reporting of the accident? That will come second to your injuries. Go and see about yourself." He said, "Your injury, life is more important. We could take this." And it really, really was comforting to know that, you know, some of the hostility that we hear from police and we experience, it's not everybody, you know. It's not all police. And
any cameras, anything to show that?
Yes, Solution Road, they say, is full of cameras, so they will do the necessary. It will take them a while to review the footage. But, you know, then I studying the driver himself. If you're drunk, you're no good in operating a vehicle. And there's some parts of St. Lucian Road very deceptive, very thin.
And yeah, very small. And has some potholes. But I don't did that.
Exactly, it's still.
Some potholes.
So it looks like
so
I telling myself, that is the only, I said maybe that's why he ended up on my side. But the speed he was coming at, he could not have gotten back on his side.
Yeah, because it has some potholes, especially when you kind of like come around the little bend, kind of, it has some potholes there, potholes.
So I mean, I feel he maybe was doing 100 on that St. Lucian Road. But the force that wing mirror flapped back with the glass, that was like a slingshot. And the distance between you and the wing mirror.
And he rubbed down the whole side.
Rubbed down the whole side and gone. And gone. That could have been straight head on. So, you know, the national issues surrounding road safety and road traffic, apart from the fines and apart from some, you know, it's easy to pick out the ones that are silly. Because there are some silly ones. But there are some serious ones as well.
And you see them on the road every day, by the way, flying down the shoulder, trying to pass on the left side. All kind of madness.
And it's a type of ignorance. Because maybe before it didn't have a penalty and nobody cared.
Just like me just now, I coming across from Robert Street to come across, no, not Robert Street, Woodford Street, and crossing one of them side street, the Marley Street, one of them street. Cars park up on both sides, so I could hardly see what coming.
Yeah.
So I kind of edging myself to come out, and a man coming flying by, driving an Aqua, and he blowing horn. But obviously he see me from a mile away. Right? But
he see you people out.
He coming flying still, you know. Not even considering that I mightn't hear you want to hear him slow down. And the speed he was driving, he's driving like he on a major road or something. Or he on the highway or something, man, flying on that road, boy. I say, but this man, people driving, trying to come out, nah, man.
Road rage. We
have thinking at all.
We have an acute sense of road rage, you know, and urgency, and we always seemingly late. Sometimes you see you know, even the protective service vehicles, and sometimes the, you know, the mortuary vehicles and the funeral home vehicles, and sometimes the speed. We place a lot of faith in machines. Huh?
Yeah.
Seemingly, we place a lot of faith in machines, and that is unfortunate. But today, as of today, as of today, 90% of gangs are from the African diaspora.
Yeah. That is what who say that? Khan say that?
Israel Khan.
Israel Khan. He is
My producer shaky head. He from Marval. I think
he is
I think they in the zone. I think they in the zone.
Yeah.
So the question this afternoon, for those of us who are, and oh my God, please, let's discuss.
We have plenty of things to discuss today.
Let's discuss the problem, and we'll use the social and ethnic analysis. That's okay today, because we are discussing our problem, but I don't want to make it a party issue. Okay? And if I make it a party issue, the bowling side is going to have a lot more questions to answer. Because according to the statistics, these communities belong to one particular
Ethnic group.
political group.
My God.
Well, that's assuming that most of the gangs are one political group.
No, well, what I mean, I'm talking about constituency-wise.
Yeah. Oh, constituency.
One political group outnumbers the other. So I was looking at some of the statistics, and I was looking at, I put some on the chart, by the way, for the murder statistics. I was looking at Dr. Selwyn Ryan, the late Selwyn Ryan, who had done a lot of research in this area. And he was saying what we already know: young black males outnumber all other groups in the prison. 51%, 28% mixed, 10% Indo. Let me look at the other end statistic. 72% of all murder victims are Afro-Trinidadian.
And what's the percentage of police? Just to round it off. What is the percentage of African to East Indian in the police service?
Well, we will get to there. That is where the arrow is pointing. Because you know they will say,
Yeah.
who lock up who?
Yeah. That is so.
You know, to circumvent that act. In 2023, it was 65% of all prisoners were Afro-Trinidadian. 136 in 2023 people were murdered, 30 years and under. They were Afro-Trinidadian. Indo-Trinidadians make up 19% of the victims. So in 2023, the rate said an Afro-Trinidadian was murdered every day, and an Indo-Trinidadian was murdered one every 4 days. Those are the statistics.
You can't hide from that.
So for those of you who have yellow or red ears, these are the statistics. This is not party.
Yeah.
This is a scientist. This is a social scientist giving us statistics. So Israel Khan's, and I put that before we go into Israel Khan's article, which says 90% of gangs are from the African diaspora. And all of this is taken with the Criminal Bar Association support for the Zone of Special Operations. You know, yesterday we were wondering that if they have the statistics right. They didn't share it with us, but from our own research, we have to ask ourselves. This is a discussion among ourselves. Is there a problem? We start there. For those the Stevie Wonder folks, me not see no problem.
So you want to also welcome our fellow female umpire. We want to welcome our fellow female umpire, Simoya, on set with us this evening.
Yes. Dr. Sandy Ford is here.
Good afternoon.
And we'll get into some vessel issues later. She missed that that that
one.
that vessel, that discussion.
Yeah.
Yes, quite a nice discussion. But these statistics have social implications as well
Absolutely.
for fathers and males. Who these girls dating? The girls dating girls. Because with the guys, you have a young daughter somewhere,
Yeah,
pray for her.
of course.
Because the pool getting
It's getting smaller and smaller.
smaller and smaller.
This,
Do-
I don't even know what to say. Ronaldo.
Tell us, do you think we have a problem? I think we have a problem, but I don't know.
I will start by saying, where is the lie?
Is he?
Where is the lie? Is Israel Khan lying? Let's start with answering that question. We have to ask ourselves as African people some seriously hard questions. And you know, it's easy to jump and make a comment about it because he's Indian. But answer the question, is he lying? He is not. You know, and it's unfortunate that this is the situation. So what is the answer to that?
Well,
When
you-
these men get arrested, you know, them what's the category of people out there balling? Well, they're too wicked. What's the category? Just say it,
1%.
right? Because you ain't seen the 1% out there saying the police wicked. But I am trying to understand why we keep closing our eyes to these things.
Good
We
question.
busting the police and, you know, the police this and Kamala them that, but we are not. Nobody is protesting about these things. Today we had a set of home invasions where citizens take it in their hands to deal with the home invaders. And who were the persons who were committing that? African people. Just saying. We cannot ignore this anymore and blame the government and blame the police when we also have to take responsibility as people for the direction that our children are going.
Correct.
Just to add to that, you know, this morning I was at a economic forum
Yes.
at the Hyatt today. I spent most of the morning there. And I listened to the Minister of Works on her presentation, among other presentation, because she had some really good presentation. Dr. Roger Hussein, he had Professor Roger Hussein, he had a very good presentation. And I want to talk a little bit about that today too.
Yes. Yes.
But you know, one the ethos of what the minister was saying is that we have to start with the small things first. Right? We had to clean up the country in a certain way. And the next thing is we have to also just stop seeing the negatives and start changing our mindsets. Because if we really change our mindsets, it's like the two men who come out of prison, one see opportunity, the other one saw doom and
Yeah.
gloom, and before you knew it, the one who saw doom and gloom was back in prison.
Back in again. Yeah,
Right? The
yeah.
thing is, we had to start changing our mindsets.
Absolutely.
Things are not the way we want it to be right now in Trinidad and Tobago, and it is not necessarily the cause of the government or any particular government. It might be the cause of some decisions taken down the road or years ago, but we have to all come together to fix Trinidad and Tobago. And we have to understand that sometimes desperate times requires desperate measures. And some of the things that are happening are caused by us. And the people who complain the most, sometimes they are the ones that either causing the problem or they are the ones who facilitating it by their action. I'm just saying.
Very, very well said. Khan said the opposition's argument that certain races and areas will be targeted amounts to an inadvertent admission by the People's National Movement members of Parliament that their constituencies have a concentration of criminal elements. That is logic.
Walk into that one.
Yes, that's logic.
Yeah, that's logic. And you know, something I just want to add, so as we talk these things, I juxtapose
Yes.
with some things.
Yes.
You know what an international investor said at that forum, on coming to the end of it? He said that we are really not seeing, in essence, he said that we are not, by what he said that we are really not seeing the opportunities that are available to us. We are
Yeah.
good compared to a lot of other Caribbean countries, and they would prefer to invest. This is a white man saying that. In
Wow.
fact, two of them, one in America because he was on live, and the other one was a Jamaican, a white Jamaican, a big, I wouldn't call the name of
Yeah,
the
yeah.
who he is, but he's a big business, big, huge multinational business. And he was saying, Trinidad and Tobago, the outlook for Trinidad and Tobago, where investment and things is concerned, it's very good. It might be a little bleaky right now,
Okay.
but it is very good for the kind of investment the government is seeking to pursue right now. That's what he was saying, and he said that in front of hundreds of people. So, you know, it's interesting that, and I'll talk a little bit about the economics and that kind of thing at some point in time in the program today, but where you started there, Ronaldo, it is so critical that we understand certain basic things. Why the government need to do certain things to change habits and to change our mindset. So while it might be a bitter pill to swallow right now, you don't have to be part of that.
That's correct.
You
It's
understand?
simple.
Yeah.
Minister Sturge said this situation with the zones. This is not really for law-abiding citizens. If you are law-abiding citizens,
You
this
don't
has
have to
nothing to do
you
with
don't have
you.
to worry about.
No, I remember when UNC was in power back then, and I think they had I don't know if it's a SOE or something, but they were doing these mass arrests Duncan Street side, East Port of Spain side, and the amount of young black males that were home in the middle of the day. I just looked at that part like I don't get why so many of them were home that time of day to find yourself in that circumstance. Now it could be that innocent people got caught up. I understand that.
But don't say that,
But-
because if you say that,
No, I'm not.
don't say you don't mind. You don't, because people would say, well, look, listen, you in your nice cushy job and you don't understand that.
No,
Them
that's
living
not.
on them, they will say that. They living
Yeah, I
on
know
the,
they
on the
will say
poor,
that.
they living on the Duncans,
I
and
know
they're
they will
getting a
say
job
that.
because of where they living
But
and all that kind of
Stephen,
thing. It's hard and
I'm saying what I observed. I am saying what I observed. The amount of young black males that were home in the middle of the day is concerning to me. We can't, I mean, you could try to cushion it how you want. There are people who are genuinely unemployed. I am not speaking to you. I'm talking for those people who are not getting jobs for whatever reason. There's so many young people that was arrested in that category, just looking at the situation from the outside. Isn't that cause for concern? Just saying. And why were all of you all picked up? Just wondering. So
Yeah.
you can pretend if you want, you know.
So, and I'm glad you went to that forum, Mr. Matteson, because I had a serious issue, and I'm going to say this on here, with the TNT Chamber and Industry of Commerce, who said that Trinidad and Tobago has to be careful with the. In a statement issued yesterday, the Chamber acknowledged that the government's intention to utilize the zone of special operations to address serious crime, reiterating that public safety is critical to national stability and economic resilience. However, the Chamber stressed that extraordinary security measures must be clearly defined, limited in durations, embedded with a... The Chamber want a sweetie?
But you know, Roger Hussein this morning said that the one good outlook he saw is the reduction in crime last year. And if that happens and we utilize the initiative, tourism, then it might be a gateway for us to recover in the short term some of the things we losing in other areas in terms of foreign exchange and that kind of thing. Because people, once they see you have a lowering murder rate, things getting better, people will be happy to come to Trinidad.
Well,
people will be
this
happy to
chamber
engage.
said that the zone of special operations will humbug economic activity,
How?
but there's no greater humbug to economic activity
Than crime.
than crime.
It makes
Where
you wonder
these
what
people
kind of
live in.
economic activity you're
Yeah,
talking about.
so these are the things. I mean, it's funny how it's funny how the foreigners looking at things, how they see it, as opposed to how, you know, some of these people with these kind of negative forecasts, not understanding where we are and why we need to take certain desperate measures
Yeah.
to fix some of the things that needs to be fixed.
The Chamber emphasized the need for clear protocols, advance notice, ongoing engagement with affected businesses to minimize disruption. To minimize disruption.
So the murders that were happening recently
Listen,
on Charlotte
that was
Street
the
and-
disruption.
these Ivory Tower people does upset me. When I read that statement, I posted it in a discussion with same Dr. Hussein, and I was saying some people living in a different Trinidad, yes, have to be. We cannot have progress and convenience.
Yeah. Yep.
You cannot.
Yep.
It's going to be inconvenient.
Yep.
There is no sweetie with this zone of special operations. It have no sweetie. Ah, sorry. What advance notice you want? You want the criminals to have advance notice?
To come in York and the next set of communities.
These stupid comments, I don't know. When I read it, I was so infuriated. I said, but what is a bigger hurdle to economic activity? People can't go to work when they want. People afraid to come home. Shift workers. But you see, they don't have to face that.
That's right.
No.
Where they live in, they don't have to face that.
But they want the workers who will accept the least amount of money.
Correct.
From the poorest set of communities.
And they want the workers there on time.
And all the
That's
workers,
right.
and they didn't care what time the workers leave neither. If they had to leave midnight, whatever, 2 o'clock.
I
your business.
remember, and people don't understand how this disrupts everything. I remember some students saying to me, "Sir, we cannot come to school for 8 now. Because now that it have all these killings, the taxi is not working as early.
Yes.
And if you jump in the wrong taxi,
You find yourself in.
you find yourself in problems. So it just takes longer to get to school.
Sometimes
But
even-
I don't face it.
Sometimes even in those kind of schools, I remember some years ago, I don't know if you remember, a little boy get killed.
Yes.
Schumacher was going
Success,
over
yeah, and move along to there.
Yeah.
So
Because he was assumed to be in a particular gang or part of a gang.
So
and
nobody is immune. So when you're talking about economic activity and the zone will disrupt economic activity, that's a foolish statement. A very,
Chamber.
for a chamber, you have employees. How they reach into work? If the community not safe? How they reach into work? How you getting your money? How you running your business?
Absolutely.
Because to come out 5 o'clock and 4 o'clock, the taxi men say no. And the same PH men that we want to lock up is the guys that the majority of our taxis are PH.
Yep.
And they too are being the victims of crime.
That's right.
So nobody is in touch except this cult. Because how could you not see that it will be inconvenient? What notice and protocols and you talk. Now I expect a certain demographic to say these things. You're the chamber. You have to understand it from a different perspective. Maybe you can't buy your Benz this year. Okay. Because you want the small man not to buy B14. And you're telling him tighten his belt.
Yeah.
You have to tighten yours too. Your profit margins wouldn't look the same.
Yeah.
Everybody has to play a part. But we must give this a chance to work, which is what Mr. Khan is saying.
Yeah.
We must give it a chance to work. Some people have a problem for every solution. Every solution, nothing will work.
And they ain't coming with anything. Eh?
Yeah, yeah. You invite them to church, they say the church are hypocrites. Well, which part do have?
Which part do have?
Which part do have?
Tell them in the church
Yeah,
too.
yeah. The party is a waste of money. They just don't like, they're just disagreeable. But according to the statistics, we have a problem.
Yeah.
That's what the statistics saying. Ms. Prasad Bisasa didn't say that. Bazio Pandey, deceased, didn't say that. It's not Keith Rowley's fault. He didn't say that neither. And this goes beyond party lines because to be fair, even the bowling side had their chance at it.
Correct.
And building this and building that and pool in the community. They build the pool, or they can't go to the pool because they're shooting.
Yep.
9
Let me
years.
be real, man.
Let me be real.
Let me be real. Is there a problem? That's the first hurdle we have to climb. Because some people say it will be targeted toward a particular constituency or community. Why? Based on bingo? Because they don't like we? Somebody tell you that in your party group? Them don't like we. Who is it them?
Thank you.
Who is it them that shoot your little cousin? Who is it them that rape the little girl?
But it will be interesting to know, since you could identify demographics, what would they have done to prevent their members from getting caught up in that?
Because
That's all I'm
I trying
asking.
to figure out,
Yeah.
and this is a question I asked myself since I heard about this zone of special operation. Even if it's in my community, wherever it is,
Yes.
how is it going to affect me if I am a decent law-abiding citizen?
Yeah.
It's not.
You will have to answer a few questions.
That's right.
And that's it. And you will encounter good policemen, you will encounter idiots. It had them on work too.
That's
Forget
right.
the police force.
It had them-
They are all
it had them
over.
It had them all over. It had them in the parliament.
I think we also need to pay attention to the way we have this whole self-expression. When
Yes.
I do workshops, I say to the young men, you know what an element looks like, right? I don't have to spell it out for you. Tell me, why would you present yourself like that and expect that the police wouldn't stop you? Just asking.
And that
There's a line to be drawn with expression of self.
is interesting, because we're going to ties in this discussion, and we wouldn't even finish this today
Yeah, there are plenty to talk
with
about.
the discussion on here.
Yes. There are plenty to talk about. I had
Because
yesterday.
we are fighting a particular look
We fight
under
for
liberation,
Thank you.
some Kwame Ture business.
Thank you.
But stereotypes, as fickle as you might seem, they are real.
Thank you.
They help us describe criminals every day of a particular nature. We're not talking about blue collar crime. We know them does get you the jacket and the tie. We're talking about violent crime. Good? Because blue collar crime have no look. But when it comes to violent crime,
There is a look.
I want them to say no.
We wish that we could have a whole gummy bear world where nobody judges anyone. But
Yes.
the reality is we all judge.
And even gummy bears is judge.
Yeah.
So if I open my pack of gummy bear, all of them stick up together. Some stick up and some stick up.
That's what we used to say that.
So we're taking our time to lay the foundation for this conversation. We're going to drinks just now. Then we have some ads after.
Right,
But when we come back after all of that, we'll get into the question, is there a problem? For all of you sycophants who call here, I want you to tell me, is there a problem? I don't want to hear about Kamala today, please. I don't want to hear about radar. We don't want to. I want to hear next to you. Go outside and look next door to you and tell me if it have a problem. Go and buy gas in the gas station. Tell me when somebody cuss you for no reason. You take it too long. We're ignorant, you know. We don't want to wait. Is there not a problem? And where does the problem lie predominantly? And it is not to say it lies there only, you know, because crime is all over Trinidad. All central crime and Moruga, Rio Princess Town, all over. But where, according to these statistics, is it more likely to happen? And is that something we imagining? Because nobody said that the zone of special operations will only be in Mova and Avantil.
Correct.
But there's a reason for it in Mova and Avantil.
Yeah.
Good?
Rima and
Yeah.
Gandhi and
Yeah, and other places.
Some places as well.
But it's very divisive to throw in that card.
Well, that's the intent.
Yeah. And certain people use that
well,
card.
it worked for the bowling side for
Yeah.
quite a while, and I mean,
So this is I'm grasping at straws kind
no,
of.
well, it works for them because to some extent, the people who support them the most, they think like that. They think that way, and for whatever reason, they vote that way. So I mean, the thing continue happening. So it worked for them. It hasn't worked for them in the last two elections in the way that they expected it to work. But you know, people will always reserve or fall back on
Yes.
when all else
They're familiar.
fails,
They're familiar.
you know,
Yeah.
fall back on what they're familiar with. So, I mean, let's see how, and when you come back, what people have to say about how they feel about that.
You've got bills to pay, and so do we. Let's go pay some bills on the street 919 FM.
Get ready for a night of vibes, energy, and soca. Iwer, George and Friends presents Iwer's Night. Friday, January 23rd at Woodford Cafe. Price Plaza Shaquana starting from 9 p.m. Advance unisex tickets $100 and ladies 2 for 1 for $100. Featuring the Waterlord, Iwer George. And all his friends in the business. KMC. Blackadan, Malik, Anika Berry, J-Del, and straight out of Grenada, the payroll man, Money. I say load me up with the oil. Music by DJ Mervin and DJ Elon, aka Papi. Come out and experience the big man in the business. Iwer, George and Friends. Friday, January 23rd, Woodford Cafe, Shaguanas. It's Iwer's Night. See you there.
How you start this time machine, boy, broski, man? Turn the ignition. I turn the ignition, I press the gas, I do everything. Look, I'm pushing it out there, it's not working. This car working? Yes, the time machine working. Broski. What? You put the smoker. Smoker? Broski, we poured my smoker. We poured my smoker.
On Sunday, February 1st, 2026, Captain Starbright and Tintin are going to take your kids on a magical journey to the past, present, and future of Carnival, the greatest show on earth. Get ready for Kids Carnival Kingdom. Back to the future.
This carnival season, come hungry and leave in love. Welcome to Flavor, a carnival culinary experience like no other. Every evening, the Queen's Park Savannah transforms into a vibrant village of food, culture, and celebration. Taste the best of Trinidad and Tobago with local street food, gourmet chefs, live cooking demos, cultural performances, and family-friendly experiences, all in one place. Join us at Flavor Village, Queen's Park Savannah, every day from 4 p.m. TNT, you're gonna love this.
How you just turn on this time machine, boy?
Bro, we have to...
Yes, I know, we have to go, but I have to start it.
On Sunday, February 1st, 2026, Captain Starbright and Tintin are going to take your kids on a magical journey to the past, present, and future of Carnival, the greatest show on earth. Get ready for Kids Carnival Kingdom. Back to the future.
Yeah, but how we going if this time machine not working, boy?
Bro, you put in the smolter. It's powered by smolter.
Oh, it's powered by smolter. All right, put it. All right, let's go.
Kids Carnival Kingdom. Back to the future. Sunday, February 1st, Skinner Park, San Fernando. Rides, slides, games, soca stars, and more. Parents, watch them learn about their culture and save the future of Carnival. Early bird tickets available online at islandetickets.com or timetolime.com and in store at advertised outlets. Kids Carnival Kingdom. Call 337-KIDS for more information. Kids Carnival Kingdom. Back to the future.
Get ready for the grand opening of Calypso Review 2026 at the Arima Velodrome on Friday, January 23rd from 8 p.m. with Sugar Aloes along with the review stars Pink Panther, Skatey, Devon Seal, Singing Sonia, Michelle Henry, Mighty Diamond, Saint Nick, Nicole Grace, Mace, JD, Via Tender, Sasha and Moses, Tempo, Black Prince, Nisa, Alana Sinette, Makeda Darius, Wakaman, Mahalia Regis, Orlando Octave, direct from Barbados, guest artist Mighty Gabby, and a surprise guest. Music by Len Cummings and the Wailers, chorus by Review Angels, your MCs Marcus Batiste, Tommy Joseph, and the Chairman. Admission $150. Tickets for Arima Velodrome at Michelle's Fashions, Massey Stores Broadway Arima, and at the door till showtime. Then on Saturday, January 24th, it's the grand opening of the Review tent at the SWWTU Hall, right around Port of Spain. Showtime 8 p.m. Admission $200. Tickets for the Port of Spain show at the Review box office, SWWTU Hall.
This carnival season, experience Panorama your way as we celebrate Trinidad and Tobago's national musical instrument in powerful and unforgettable ways. It's the medium and large conventional band semifinals 2026, the Savannah Party, Sunday, February 1st, 2026, from 1 p.m. at the iconic Queen's Park Savannah, Port of Spain. Sit and watch the bands compete. Feel the precision, the power, the mastery of pan and steel orchestras battle for a place in the finals. Or head to the party stand, the North Stand, where you can enjoy the jubilee of the season. Non-stop vibes, sweet pan, and pure Savannah energy. Tickets are available now. Grandstand $400, North Stand $500. Pay-per-view tickets are only $30 US. Get your physical tickets at Pan Trinbago headquarters, 55 Don Donald Street, Port of Spain, or online tickets and pay-per-view tickets at www.pantrinbago.co.tt. This event sponsored by the Ministry of Culture and Community Development, National Carnival Commission, Kenson Group, the THA, BPTT, Eat It, and the Trinidad and Tobago Mortgage Bank.
If you want to feel the heart and soul of TNT Carnival, then come to the National Carnival Commission's John Cupid Carnival Village. There's something for everyone. Safe, secure, and family friendly. There's beautiful handmade local crafts on sale, live performances, kaiso, calypso, comedy, soca, chutney, steel pan, and more. Every night from 6 p.m. It's Everything Carnival. NCC's John Cupid Carnival Village, located inside the Queen's Park Savannah, right behind the paddock area. The perfect spot to ease back and relax. And best of all, admission is free. NCC's John Cupid Carnival Village. You're gonna love this.
Option for a chance to break away with bigger playway prizes this carnival. It's a bigger prize and the money nice in the playway breakaway. We betting hard and we betting hard in the playway breakaway. Players must be 18 years and over. Please play responsibly.
Blessings in the wonderful name of our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. You are invited to listen to the Final Hour broadcast heard every Monday
from 11 p.m. to 5 a.m. in the morning on the Street 919 FM.
Hear my mom, Pastor Helen Garcia, and myself, Pastor Valentine Garcia Jr., preach the Word of God to the elderly, youth, and children. We can be contacted at 629-0113 or 623-8444. The church is located at 26 Prince Street in Port of Spain. We look forward to you joining us. God bless you.
As my life I lay it on the altar, as my life.
The Lion Brand always had a plan, giving great taste all across the land. Pelori, fry, bake, roti, and double stew, made with great taste just for me and you. All through the year and all season, the Lion Brand is the reason. When the Lion Brand in the kitchen, we know to mix and move, we're gonna mix and move.
This carnival season, mix and move with the Lion Brand of products, the power behind our great taste traditions.
With the Lion Brand.
What are you doing?
Crunchnival at KFC is so special to all our we. Like we need blood and we vein, we need KFC again and again. Time to crunch down now. Start to crunch with your crew, look they touch down now. KFC, time to wave and just bite down now because it's Crunchnival.
What are you doing?
Do what you want with the crunch, don't fight it. KFC, carnival, when you bite it. Flavor, take off, like rocket. It's a Crunchnival with the baddest, buckle it. Bada ding, bada boom. Make best, make room. The steam finger licking, it's a Crunchnival. KFC, chicken, joy, carnival, and every crunch with KFC. When the taste moves your waist, you know it's Crunchnival at KFC.
Rhythms of Truth, a Kaiso story. The grand opening of the world's #1 Calypso tent, Kaiso Showcase 2026. Friday, 23rd January, 8 p.m. Naparima Bowl, San Fernando. Be prepared for a night of Calypso in all its forms. Social, political commentary, humor, pan, chutney, and suggestive sounds. Featuring performances by Queen Victoria, Lady Adana, Pharaoh, Mr. Shaq, Daddy Chinese, Eunice Peters, Calissa Charles Mapp, Alicia Richards, Il Drago, Mr. Mac, Nicholas Lucas, Rivaldo London, Lady Torlish, Carice Pascal, Dijuba, Roxy Singh, Queen Voice, Brother Ramkey, Cassie, Miss Ross, Empress, Medic, Greg, Mr. Lee, Fire Rain. Guest performances by Dev, Durango, Prio, and Raw Tour. Your MC, Damian Melville. Music by Razor Sharp, Chorus, Kaiso Flames. Tickets, advance $200. At the door, $250. Available at Roast and Toast, Superior Street, San Fernando. Athletes by the Park, Tuco South Central Office, Mezzanine Floor, Skinner Park, San Fernando. And from executive members. For more information, call 653-5732. Don't miss Rhythms of Truth, a Kaiso story. See you there.
Get ready to immerse yourself in the vibrant rhythms and the joyous spirit of sweet Calypso. Join us for an unforgettable experience at the semi-final round of the Calypso Monarch competition. This is Calypso Fiesta. 40 Calypso stars will compete on the Skinner Park stage. Calypso Unleashed, boundless harmonies. Mark your calendars. Saturday, February 7th, 2026. Join us at Skinner Park in San Fernando for an afternoon of pure Calypso magic. Showtime 2 p.m. Tickets available on islandetickets.com or call us at 623-9660. Don't miss out on a chance to experience the rhythm and joy of the Caribbean in 2026. Calypso Unleashed, boundless harmony. This is Calypso Fiesta.
After dynamic opening week performances, this week, Classic Russo returns to their home, City Hall, Knox Street, Port of Spain, with performances by All-Rounder, Crazy, Contender, Manchild, Hamidullah, Lady Wonder, Shirlane, Brian London, Twiggy, Dr. Will B, Charlene Bailey, Master G, Mark Eastman, Garth Sinclair, the youthful Kyle Cowie, Andre Nelson, Nefta Kojo, Jay Edwards, and many others. MC Shirlane Hendrickson, chorus by the Classic Russo Diamonds, music by Classic Russo Orchestra. This Wednesday. Then on Thursday night, it's Judges Night. Admission $200 and 2 persons on 1 ticket for $300. Get your tickets at Crosby St. James, Tuco Office, New City Mall, and at the box office on the day of the show. Both shows 8 p.m. And this Friday, Classic Russo rolls into Point Fortin at the Field of Dreams for another massive show. Get your tickets at $150 and 2 persons on 1 ticket for $200 at the venue Field of Dreams box office till showtime at 8 p.m. Classic Russo for Classic Kaiso.
Trinidad and Tobago, get ready for words, blitz, and raw lyrical fire. It's Kaiso Rama 2026, the ultimate extempo and freestyle competition where only the sharpest minds survive. On Monday, February 2nd, the battle begins at Radisson Hotel with the preliminary round at 7 p.m. Watch the nation's best extempo giants go head-to-head, thinking fast, rhyming faster. Then it all comes down to the grand final on Tuesday, February 10th, 7 p.m. at Napa. One crown, one champion. Pure lyrical mastery. Think you have what it takes? Registration is now open until Friday, January 30th at all Tuco offices. Tickets, preliminary $150, grand final $250. Don't miss the clash of culture, creativity, and calypso brilliance. Kaiso Rama 2026, where lyrics rule and legends are born. Kaiso Rama!
Share the live. Share the live. The Street 919 FM on Facebook and Instagram. Share the live. Iowa George on Instagram. Share the live. Iowa TV and Street TV on YouTube. Share the live. The Street 919 FM.
So the question we'll be asking after we come back from the break, because we're under a minute going to a break. Do we have a problem? For those of you who live on this planet, on this side of the planet, who see things only in yellow and red. This is not yellow and red discussion today. Do we have a problem?
Yeah. Who see it only through the lens of yellow and red or through the lens of race?
Yes.
Yeah. Well, Khan said it aptly.
He said it.
If you're looking at race and we're looking at yellow and red. You red have it.
Yeah.
All the way.
That's not even, yeah, and that's...
And that is something that we will want to have the discussion on how do we solve that problem. Is it that the government proposal of the special operation a fair one, given the fact that most of the criminal activities take place in the red constituencies?
Correct. That's a question we must answer. Join us after the break.
Clear the way and turn the volume up to the max. It's time for the Soca Pick of the Day, sponsored by NLCB.
The most wanted. I won't start it, and me say start it. Just be not the top, make you a target. I've been working on my aim and on me can't miss. The type of nice we make is louder than the market. Let me tell you this, bad we boss. The players money up, mad we boss. The fed turning up, the party flat. From front to back, it's bad we ball. To bamba, yeah. Give them something and give them something and give them something again. More truth for the mad ones, give ones losing their brain. Everybody we bad it up, they all screaming my name. So they come attack and me manager say them want to book me again. It's skinny vibe, touring like a minivan. Just shell down grenade and now me speeding down to Trinidad. Enough girls say them want to get dug in my skinny pants. Some try to distract me but my mind's stuck on the million. Start it, and me say start it. Just be not the top, make you a target. I've been working on my aim and now me can't miss. The type of nice we make is louder than the market. Let me tell you this, bad we boss. The players money up, mad we boss. The fed turning up, the party flat. From front to back, it's bad we ball. To bamba, yeah. Give them something and give them something and give them something again. More truth for the mad ones, give ones losing their brain. Everybody we bad it up, they all screaming my name. So they come attack and me manager say them want to book me again. It's skinny vibe. Them want to book me again. Most wanted. Them want to book me again. Enough girls say them want me. Them want to book me again. I won't. Them want to book me again. Start it, and me say start it. Just be not the top, make you a target. I've been working on my aim and now me can't miss. The type of nice we make is louder than the market. Let me tell you this, bad we boss. The players money up, mad we boss. The fed turning up, the party flat. From front to back, it's bad we ball. To bamba, yeah. Give them something and give them something and give them something again. More truth for the mad ones, give ones losing their brain. Everybody we bad it up, they all screaming my name. So they come attack and me manager say them want to book me again.
And that is your Soca Pick of the Day. Keep it locked right here for more of the biggest hits and the sweetest vibes, sponsored by NLCB.
Break away. Play away. 1, 2, break away. It's a bigger prize than the money nice in the play away break away. We fighting hard and we betting hard in the play away break away. It's bacchanal in the play away break away. Win up to 30 to 1 on the base, 130 to 1 with the Juve ball, 135 to 1 with the steel pan ball, and 150 to 1 with the soccer ball. Wager on at least one mega mix option for a chance to break away with bigger play away prizes this carnival. It's a bigger prize than the money nice in the play away break away. We fighting hard and we betting hard in the play away break away. Players must be 18 years and over. Please play responsibly.
Is there a problem? Based on the statistics, based on Mr. Khan's explanation of the context, and we're talking about zone of special operations, because we'll move on from this. Is there not a problem? Good afternoon, caller. Good afternoon, caller.
Good afternoon, Mr. Matterson, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
And to your partner who has put it in the bottle, good afternoon to you as well.
Good afternoon.
Yeah, because I'm trying to figure out. Yeah, you will ask me. In my community, do I know of something going on wrong next door, or is there something going on? Depends on where I live, the community in which I live, because just 1 second.
You sound distracted.
Yes.
You back now. Go ahead.
Yes, I am.
Yes, go ahead.
The mantra a few months ago as this government, but before that, when you look at the crime statistics, most of the crime happens in P&M constituents. All right. I saw a company lost a set of vans the other day, one of those delivery companies. They find all the vans in Lavantil, and the people in the community return all the items. So that logic can't make sense.
No, caller, you're incorrect. Your statement makes no sense. Not because they found, not because the people return the van, it means that that community doesn't have a high crime rate.
I'm not disputing that.
Okay, so what is your argument?
Well, everyone, hold on. That means there's a group of people in the community
Correct.
that has the problem.
Correct. I agree. Not everybody.
And the police, everybody was glad when Christmas lists come here the other day, right?
Right.
Portion of the action of Christmas lists. And if Christmas lists could find these, that was the views of the opposition. If Christmas lists could find these people, why the police can't find them? So today I look at my parliament. The man who is in charge of the police service is Alexander. He played no role in that debate today, so far.
Right.
The man who talking is Sturge. Who opened the debate button is Sturge.
Right.
Right. Alexander, when the previous administration bought the first set of body cams, the second set, because I think they bought 3 sets, and asked, what about the body cams? Because he carried on a program on an evening. On that program, his argument is that the body cams are too cumbersome, so they shouldn't be worn. This administration bill in the parliament telling us if they have the proper equipment to go and do the job, including cameras, and they don't have it, but they could go ahead. So if you have the proper equipment, how are you going to do the job? If one of the requirements of the job is to safeguard your life, and not your life, technically, to safeguard your action safety, and the person you're going after safety, is to wear the body cams.
So I wonder,
and
if the past government had bought it 3 times, where is it now? They do an audit to find out where the body cams
well,
are.
that's what this administration should tell me how much body cams they have from turning how much police officers. This should be the argument in the parliament today. If you want to justify that the police move without body cams, so then I will know you don't have enough.
Right. Go ahead.
So,
yeah.
Again, if you know there's, and I'm going with an argument that Gary Griffith made a few days ago, which is quite true. If you know every police community and every police station knows exactly who does come and sign the book and know who does get trouble. So therefore, you don't have to lock down my community to go and find a man or find a person to do it. Because what verifies suspicious behavior that the police could run into my premises? I could be sitting down in my house or sitting down by the road and see the police jeep coming up the road and get up and run inside. And because of my action and because of the law, gives the police justification to run in by me. There was a judgment just recently passed yesterday or the day before yesterday, where police was supposed to appear in court for the arrest and charge of a man. And the judge, I think in a little argument, made a statement that they were going on. You know, if about these matters coming before me and the police and the state lawsuit, for the police are not paying in court, award the man 100,000 and making an argument that they were going on this time that some of these police officers should pay. Yeah. So therefore, that is telling us that the police service has a problem. Coming after my community, when there's 100 of us and only 5 give it problem that you know, that you show me that Christmas list point out, and why the police can't after them? Well, all they're in charge of the same police now. Why you can't use the evidence that you were telling me to use on the Christmas list to target individuals instead of community? to find one person. You incumbents send thousands of people to find 3 and 4 persons in a community. That can't make sense. And then your justification if the police do have body cams, so they could run in my meat just to kick down my door. And there's no course or no action that I could take if they end up in the wrong house. That's what the judge saying, you know. To you. Enjoy your evening.
Good afternoon, caller.
Pleasant good afternoon, my friend.
Good afternoon.
I'm talking to the man in the mirror. I'm asking him to change his ways. Because I've seen that just like it is glaring and observant that the Indian, the Chinese, the Syrian is in the majority in the business world in Trinidad and Tobago. Likewise, your report this afternoon, it is glaring to see where we stand, where our position is. And that is so bad, but we don't have a choice but to face it head on. Parenting is gone. It's getting out of hand. And I'm saying, the books you read, the shows we watch, the places we go, the radio stations and music we listen, last but not least, the friends we keep, is connected to our destination. We continue to be in the majority running to get the bus, to be in the majority in the carnival, in the panorama, in the majority in the hold them and walk them, we jamming still, we like it hot. And if you notice where we are in the majority, parenting out of hand, boys. And when we say calm down, we're not understanding. We continue to fight against one another. We fighting war. Don't know what we're fighting for each and every day. War. Hey, this thing is look ugly, sound ugly. From the time I started to hear you talk this afternoon, I heard it earlier on the radio. I see why I wonder if they're going to make this a subject, because this is my problem all along. This is my problem all along, but I can notice our behavioral pattern. I will get cussed this afternoon. It's how whom I not like what one time is saying, but at the end of the day, my friend, I continue to say, we build mass kennel for we dogs because we know we have pit bull dog, and if the pit bull dog get away and bite the neighbor, it's millions of dollars. We make sure we fence because we don't want we foul to go and scratch the neighbor yard. But with children, somebody take a bait from here? No, ma. Wait, Paul. We don't know where Paul. He seems to cannot handle our affairs. Our responsibility is too big for us. There is a program was asking, what is not a crime that should be a crime? You know what my answer was? I'm going to close off here. We should be charged for living beyond our means. We parents supposed to be disciplined for living beyond our means, not living within our responsibility, our income, what God bless us with. My friend, I know everybody wants to give a little chance, see something, do something. So locked on and listening.
Professor Roger Hussein reminded us at the Hyatt this morning was a plan by the Minister Kama Maraj when he said that the non-energy export sector goal is $5 billion. And he went on to talk about the sectors or the areas where they could increase those earn that kind of revenue from. And one of the areas was tourism. But you know what's the impediment to that?
Crime.
And Dr. Roger Hussein indicated that. He said that, listen, we had a drastic decrease last year, and if we could continue in that direction, crime, we will certainly be able to benefit in the short term from things like tourism.
I agree.
So clearly, the government is understanding that area and is trying to take drastic steps to solve the problem. Why are we trying to be obstacles to it when it isn't affecting us in a way we claiming that it will affect us?
Let me take this call. Good afternoon, caller.
Good afternoon. I just say I am of African descent and I bow my head in shame. The truth is the truth and it cannot be hidden. We know that most of the crimes are being held in our community. And I want to say it starts right at the home. The problem is within the home. You have a husband and a wife, both African, one trying to correct the child in one way, and the other one saying something else. Both of them, the father and mother at war. And while the father and mother at war, the child is frustrated. The child goes out there and does his own thing. Now from there, the first person is in the home. You go out to the school. You go to the schools right in the community, and they have that same problem. And especially our ladies, our women, you hear them, oh God, leave the boy now. You're only coming down on the boy, you're only coming down on the boy. Leave the boy. And the boy just getting hardened and hardened, and he's going out there committing crime. Sometimes they want to go out. You say, no, you're supposed to be in the house. At this hour, where are you leaving to go at 8 o'clock in the night? One party saying, go ahead, let the boy go ahead, the boy is young, and the next one saying, stay. You have little girl children, 15, 16 years, outside there, leaving home 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock to go out there. You don't know where they're going. I believe the only thing, the parents does not take care of their, does not own up to their responsibility. The government of the country cannot allow that which you allow in your house to destroy the country, and they have to do something. We as African people of African descent, we have to stand up and we have to see where we have gone wrong. We have to build up the family altar. And when someone does something wrong and he does not have to pay for it, he is not punished for it, he does not feel it so that he would know he has done something wrong, he continues to do it. That is why so many of our young men have been killed. So many of our young men are in there facing murder because they were pointed in a direction which is not right. I think I want to stop here. I think I would have said enough. We and our females sit with the male. There are too many fragmented homes. Father one way and mother one way. It is hard for a female to bring up a boy child. A father has to bring up a boy child. That stern has to be there. Mr. Madison, I am visually impaired, so you all can cut me off. Thank you all for this opportunity.
The gentleman, he couldn't say it better.
I don't have anything to add.
Yeah. He couldn't say it better.
Honesty. Some calling this station and telling me about the police and all kind of foolishness.
Well
Huh?
said.
Yeah.
It's a matter of responsibility.
Yeah, it's responsibility. People have to take responsibility for. You see, as I say all the time, you know. Yesterday I was talking about a story with a poor man who get up praying that he's looking at a rich man and get up praying that he only wished that this rich man, God could make him poor like he, so that he could see what he's going through. You know what? He get his wish. God make him poor like him, and give both of them a gravel pit. Get both of them a shovel.
Yeah.
And all them monetize that. You know what the rich man do? The rich man, the first day, the rich man work on the gravel pit, shoveling. He makes some money, but the poor man make more money than him because he accustomed hard labor.
Yeah.
He make more money than you know what the poor man went and do? He went and buy food, he buy a best Jordan, he buy best jeans. You know what the rich man do? The rich man buy enough food to eat the next day, and he take the rest of money and he hire 2 men. And them two men come and do 3 times what the former poor man did the day before.
So that he get more money.
So the next day he come and he hire more. And by the end of the week he had some trucks and backhoes. By the end of the month, he owned a couple of quarries.
Wow.
And he was rich again. The poor man was still asking what has happened. Mindset. You have to change your mindset.
Correct. Good afternoon, caller.
Good afternoon. Sorry about that, Mr. Oloxa, Mr. Madison, and Ms. Iboya. It's good to know that, we seem to be data-driven in more recent times in terms of the research that has been done and the data presented. And unlike what happened, quite recently, I see that you spoke about the Sterling Ryan report, you spoke about, but it surveys is born on race and whatnot in the public service and whatnot. And then you had some research done by a guy called Bash, I think on junior secondary school education and occupation. And you had people like Ralph Henry and Maureen Kane, she dealt with crime, but there seems to be the absence of that willingness, that desire to do research. I know it is costly, it's expensive, but we have to, Trinidad has to be, in fact, one commentator, I think it was Morgan Joe, said that Trinidad and Tobago is what he said, that is intellectual bankrupt or whatever it is. But it's good to know that the data, we're moving in accordance with data. Yes, you have to respect the data. If in fact you look at the integrity of the data, the credibility of it, who did it, when they did it, over what time, the population and whatnot. So we look at that data, and we have a problem. There is a problem. In fact, in the last 10 years, you have had 5,420 persons murdered in Trinidad and Tobago. Right? I'm just going back for one, and that is the official statistics reported from the police statistics. And yes, we have a problem, and the problem, the areas have been identified. It's not a question of race and whatnot. If you have a problem, you have to deal with it. But it's not just dealing with it, it's how you deal with it. And I am saying that once and other countries have dealt with it. I've seen it dealt with in Baltimore with this fellow Brandon Scott, who is the mayor of Baltimore. Again, almost 85% is predominantly black. And they dealt with it, and he brought it down last year. That was the murder capital in the United States, and he brought it down to 133 murders last year.
Yeah.
Right? And you have Jamaica. That was the murder capital of the Caribbean. In fact, only recently Trinidad has surpassed Jamaica. because we're looking at per capita, and you know that the Jamaican population is just under 3 million persons, and they had, I think, 400 and something, I think 700 and something murders last year. They have brought it down significantly. And I'm saying that we have to deal with this crime problem, right? There are areas in this country and areas in the community where I live that I don't go. I don't go there. Because, again, the question of crime and all that, I may go in and never come back out.
Mr. West, we're going to a short break. Call us right after the break.
All right, thank you.
Road March energy? Check. Royal Castle flavor? Double check. Let's dive into the Royal Castle Road March Song of the Day on the Street 919 FM.
When the carnival pace pick up, Royal Castle is the most tasty and convenient stop.
Welcome to Royal Castle's drive-thru.
Whether we heading to the beach with chicken buckets and sides, having a house line with all the combos and sandwiches, or we stop by the castle to eat before the fete. Royal Castle local flavor is always part of the carnival.
Find yourself on a man right now, right now, right now, right now, right now. Give the body a jam right now, right now, right now, right now, right now. When a Trini touch the road, holding on to the truck, don't try to kill me mood. We just want to get walk. We come out to play mass. We taking over the road. Don't try to play mad. We go send it back. We walk all the linemen. 420 drinking. Big shit back there. Readers end up on the truck Juve morning. When we wind it, too much speed for you. The people look so fine. Cool it now. Give it with time. All masqueraders come alive. Don't get we mad. Find yourself on a man. Right now, right now, right now, right now, right now. Give the body a jam. Right now, right now, right now, right now, right now. What truck you choosing? Find me whining by two. If you cannot handle me, don't bother coming through. We go ruffle some feathers, make you get in the mood. Convert the foreigners, till them Trini by noon. You are all the linemen, 420 drinking. Big shit back then. Readers end up on the truck Juve morning. When we wind it, too much speed for you. The people look so fine. Cool it now. Give it with time. All masqueraders come alive. Don't get we mad. Find yourself on a man. Right now, right now, right now, right now, right now. Give the body a jam. Right now, right now, right now, right now, right now. The truck moving too fast. Truck driver don't play the ass. We don't want them bodies to pass. Slow down. Loose friend and them in the band. All over like a mad girl. You don't want me to crash out. We were all the linemen. 420 drinking. Big shit back then. Readers end up on the truck Juve morning. When we wind it, too much speed for you. The people look so fine. Cool it now. Give it with time. All masqueraders come alive. Don't get we mad. Find yourself on a man. Right now, right now, right now, right now, right now. Give the body a jam. Right now, right now, right now, right now, right now.
That was the Royal Castle Road March Song of the Day on the Street 919 FM.
When the carnival pace pick up, Royal Castle is the most tasty and convenient stop.
Welcome to Royal Castle's drive-thru.
Whether we heading to the beach with chicken buckets and sides, having a house line with all the combos and sandwiches, or we stop by the castle to eat before the fete. Royal Castle local flavor is always part of the carnival.
Yeah, and we're back. So based on the discussion that we've been having, My question to you, which is when you call in here, you should answer first, is there a problem? We can get into all the different scenarios about what you may find is a solution or not, body cams, etc., etc. I take that. My proposition to you is that is there not a problem? Good afternoon, sir.
Yeah, good day. I think I've referred to that in clear terms.
Yes.
There is a problem with respect to crime in Trinidad and Tobago. There's no debate about that. It's clear. The evidence is there. And I think the evidence, not data, just data, we're data-driven and evidence-driven. And as I said, there are areas in Trinidad that I don't go, and areas in my community that I don't go. And in fact, the streets at night almost bare. Nobody's on the streets. People used to leave and go early in the morning for walk and run and all that. They don't go anywhere again, you know. And people are scared. People are, just keeping their home. People don't even want to sit down in there. People talk about the gallery and all that. They don't sit down there in the day or night because you may pick up. You don't know where it will come from, right? Some people live in houses and in homes that they don't studying could be a problem. Some people keep their lights off because they don't want to attract the criminals. We know that. And it's not a question of hiding that. What are you hiding that for? You're traveling in a motor car. Sometimes you could be traveling and then you're in the wrong car and man started to spray up the car and that's it. Pika, you have to be very careful if you can't get an H car. H car is no more really. And people have to be wary of all that. So you go to the grocery, you're in fear. All these things, and there's no denying it. So something has to be done about crime. But what I'm saying here is that my view is that, yes, you have the police. We know the problems with the challenges with the police. We know the question. You have to look at the question of abuse and all that kind of thing, people's rights and whatnot. And we have to ensure that the safeguards are there, the guardrails are there to protect people's fundamental rights, right? So I support the intervention by the police, and again, more importantly, the social intervention in terms of the community development approach to those communities. I think that's the way to go. But also the question of the rollout, the operationalization of the plan. Who is in charge? How is it being coordinated and all that? Proper coordination. And I trust that the government will get it right. And they will get the right people to assist in rolling out that plan. I mean, I don't know if they have much time, but they had the whole period of the state of emergency to develop that plan and to get the persons to operationalize the whole thing. But what is more important, I think, is protection of the rights of the innocent citizens, and even the rights of those people who are suspected, because a man is innocent until proven guilty. But I think I saw the government has certain things in place within the Act. I heard it spelled out in terms of, the decision subject to judicial review and Parliament committee to review from time to time what is taking place with respect to the zone, right? And all these things, and then you have the question of habeas corpus, and very important to protect the people's rights. And more than the people themselves, we as citizens have to ensure that when things are not going right, that we speak out. We have that is reference. You see to the United States, the people in Minnesota, they speak out. You have to speak out. You have to be watchdog, not just well, I don't know how vigilant the newspaper would be, but we as the people also have to play our role in ensuring that the police and in fact the implementation of that is done properly without any sort of abuse by the police or those people charged with responsibility of carrying out implementing the measures. Thank you again.
So, or someone is that, right?
No, go ahead.
So, sometimes when we listen to our callers, and sometimes we even listen to ourselves, we have to also be mindful that some people would usually see things as if we are more or less putting plasters on sores if the more critical things, and I spoke about that yesterday, when we look at things like the Maslow hierarchy of needs,
Yes.
if the more critical things to them are not taken care of. So sometimes we talk about all these lofty plans and
Yeah.
all these good things that the government is doing without considering that there are people in society who may not be in the same position. Their disposition might be different from ours. And
Yes.
talking psychologically now, and how they may be feeling about some of the things and how it may affect them. And how they are seeing it through their eyes.
Yeah.
So seeing it through their eyes and their disposition, they will have a different position on it. And they are right to a large extent. Sometimes we have to be able to dissect things that way so that we now are able to understand why somebody will have a problem with something in the way they're having a problem with it. And yesterday I would have said that if we just break this thing down, I mean, right now the government is kind of like playing catch up, right? 9 years, they felt we lost, we had high crime. All the indicators are saying that as bad as it looks in Trinidad and Tobago, things are still, there are a lot of opportunities out there still, but to be able to reap those opportunities, there are things the government must do. And one of the things we had to solve is crime. Yep. A couple of other things. We had to solve order in the society. But there are people who certainly, by their own disposition, those things, trying to do those things in the way we're trying to do it, will affect them. Because there are things that we feel that the government should also do too. The social aspects of the things that government should be doing, yes, that will help some of those persons, some families, which is why a country doesn't only run on gas alone. A car doesn't only run on gas alone. You have to put water in the wiper. You have to put
correct
brakes fluid. You have to put hydraulic fluid in the power steering pump. All these things. So it's a myriad of things that has to be done to end up at a perfect society. But the government also has its challenges. And
yes,
that is, you do have the kind of resources to be able to do all the things. So you try to do what you feel is important first. So all these things we had to take into consideration. I mean, I don't want to keep saying, well, this is a new government, come and give them a chance, and that kind of, it's kind of outdated to say that.
Yeah.
But we have to understand what the challenges of the government, those challenges, we had to understand what they are.
Yes.
And pinpoint them, and so that people and the government too, they had to do a better job at marketing themselves. And that's
yes,
one of the things that came out. You said it yesterday.
Yes.
And that's one of the things that came out in the program this morning at the Hyatt. The government is not doing a very good at marketing themselves and why the need for doing certain things and what are their specific challenges.
Good afternoon, Mr. President.
Oh, yes. Trying to catch all the between conversation and TV. Anyway, good afternoon, Mr. Floran. And good afternoon, Mr. Stephen. Good afternoon, Trinidad and Tobago. And most important, good afternoon, God. Dan passed me through a whole good day, and I still living to able to come on the program and say what he said. So, hearing the program, if anything happening around me and in my community, first of all, my community fairly like it might have too much, and one or two little scribble because, I mean, Cheech and Tongue does meet in some respect and personality around the place. Maybe it could be weed, could be cocaine, it could be a girl and a man have a problem. Yeah, them kind of thing, crime. The real true crime is government, and I hear some people saying the truth coming from the parents and home. Right? Parents and home right now, all them parents and them children. That's making one of the most important. Your Bible tells you that and you've seen it in front of your face. At this point, you've seen it in front of your face. Children making children. Children just as children, because the same thing the children doing is the same thing them showing by the children. So as much as we could say it come from the home, okay, so it come from the home. The biggest home in our society is the government. Revelation could show you and point you out the clay foot and the iron head and all of that. Show you if government is doing right, then the society will fall, and which part it will fall and which one will throw it down is the foot. So psychologically, when you look at the situation, you recognize that the person to keep order in your country, to develop the country, for the people to feel that they're equitably viable, that they good standards and things to live, so that the fella take out all the guns, drop the crime in the best way. They don't have a lot to do. Yeah, it's true, they're doing what they have to do. But in many respects, when they're victimizing the innocent to get at the guilty, that you have to look at in the society, because the society also watching that. Within the whole flow of things, the society is also watching that. That when you looking, all right, let me put a curfew in position. Not the one that they're going to say no, but let me put a curfew in position. When you put a curfew for 10,000, all right, let me say 1,000 people, and they have 10,000 people who have to go to work, and it interferes with that 10,000. So then the 10,000 will quarrel about the curfew, while as they're not doing the right thing to get at the 1,000. These are, look, Stephen now said two little things there, and the two things he said add up to the same thing. That you don't just go at the people, at the society. Look at how the government governing. And I ain't seen no government really in my 60 change yet, really to act like, let me look at principle of Ibrahim Toure. Because if I was to think that David Norman does say, he'd have said, show me a black ruling country in the, as long as say internationally, I know, aside from the Caribbean, show me a black ruling country that is going so good to say, well, the black rule, everybody could satisfy and enjoy. No, it's corruption, it's encouraging corruption, all of that is why. Because there is a lot of greed and so forth passing from the master system into the Oreo system or into the house slave system, and the house slave now bringing master consciousness onto the society. And the free trade now, all the society have to live with it. How would he live with it? Not angry. What would he do? Anything necessary. So it's a whole ball game here that unless, according to one time, if we don't change we own self and attitude, come down to realizing what a human is in a society, and recognize that we have to communicate, we have to unite, we have to organize, we have to associate. So come forward. As an African, I would say that through slavery, it was given that we act up on what they say. Now, if you have, what would I say, ambition, so plenty of child to mine and family, and they will make growth. It have those in our society as African people who don't care. We have a lot of don't care people living around us. Some of us could say, yes, it's the truth. We have a lot of don't care if the sun come up in the morning or if the moon don't go down. So, you know, we have to think again, and I just say some kind of things to help me, but I don't know if we're listening. Only God alone could say, because God talking and showing people where they have to unite, organize, communicate, because that is what life is. Life discord will only cause destruction. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
The views expressed are not necessarily the views of the management of the Street 919 FM.
So we're going to a drinks break, but the same points and same sentiments being echoed, that we take that the social part and the crime part must be done together, hand in hand, and I take your comments about it. Who's explaining this? Who's explaining what's happening?
I did hear, and as I said yesterday also, I did hear the Prime Minister make a comment relative to that sometime. By the way, I don't know to what extent it will be done. I don't know what kind of resources they are going to put behind that, because as you are well aware, there are a lot of things that the field side considered social programs that should have taken care of, but done in abeyance, done in a very responsible fashion, that should have taken care of certain things. And some people became very dependent on it and didn't look outside of that to do other things. I know some of them personally, right? And some people took advantage of it and developed themselves and moved out and is contributing significantly to society today.
Yes.
Those are things that we have to consider. So they have to either do the means test, they have to do whatever they have to do to figure out who are the people that are falling through the cracks and how they can help catch them in the bottom before they end up in the hands of the police and all the other places.
The steps leading up to the police.
Yeah.
You know, the situations, the analysis before any individual in the society reaches there. And when the government has a priority and they have the role and responsibility to provide certain things, we have the responsibility.
You've got bills to pay, and so do we. Let's go pay some bills on the street 919 FM.
Get ready for a night of vibes, energy, and soca. Iwer, George, and Friends presents Iwer's Night. Friday, January 23rd at Woodford Cafe. Price Plaza Shaguana starting from 9 p.m. Advance unisex tickets $100 and ladies 2 for 1 for $100. Featuring the Waterlord, Iwer George, and all his friends in the business. KMC, Blackadan, Malik, Anika Berry, J-Del, and straight out of Grenada, the payroll man, Money. I say load me up with the oil. Music by DJ Mervyn as DJ Elon, aka Papi. Come out and experience the big man in the business. Iwer, George, and Friends. Friday, January 23rd, Woodford Cafe, Shaguanas. It's Iwer's Night. See you there.
What are you doing? Crunch Nival at KFC is so special to all our we. Like we need blood in we vein. We need KFC again and again. Time to crunch, time to crunch, time to crunch down now. Start to crunch with your crew, look they touch down now.
What are you doing?
KFC, time to wave and just bite down now because it's Crunch Nival.
What are you doing? Do what you want with the crunch, don't fight it. KFC, Carnival, when you bite it. Flavor, take off, like rocket. It's a Crunch Nival with the baddest buckling. Bada ding, bada boom. Make best, make room. The steam finger licking. It's a Crunch Nival with KFC. Chicken, joy, carnival, and every crunch with KFC. When the taste moves your waist, you know it's Crunch Nival at KFC.
Play away, break away, play away. 1, 2, break away. It's a bigger prize than the money nice in the play away, break away. We betting hard and we betting hard in the play away, break away. It's Bacchanal in the play away, break away. Win up to 30 to 1 on the base, 130 to 1 with the Juve ball, 135 to 1 with the steel pan ball, and 150 to 1 with the soccer ball. Wager on at least one mega mix option for a chance to break away with bigger play away prizes this carnival. It's a bigger prize than the money nice in the play away, break away. We betting hard and we betting hard in the play away, break away. Players must be 18 years and over. Please play responsibly.
How you just turn on this time machine, boy? Bro, we have to... Yes, I know, we have to go, but I have to start it.
On Sunday, February 1st, 2026, Captain Starbright and Tim Tim are going to take your kids on a magical journey to the past, present, and future of Carnival, the greatest show on earth. Get ready for Kids Carnival Kingdom. Back to the future.
Yeah, but how we going if this time machine not working, boy? Bro, you're putting me Smolter. It's powered by Smolter. Oh, it's powered by Smolter. All right, put it in. All right, let's go.
Kids Carnival Kingdom. Back to the future. Sunday, February 1st, Skinner Park, San Fernando. Rides, slides, games, soca stars, and more. Parents, watch them learn about their culture and save the future of Carnival. Early bird tickets available online at islandetickets.com or timetolime.com and in store at advertised outlets. Kids Carnival Kingdom. Call 337-KIDS for more information. Kids Carnival Kingdom. Back to the future.
TNT, get ready for the grand opening of Calypso Review 2026 at the Arriba Velodrome on Friday, January 23rd from 8 p.m. with Sugar Aloes along with the review stars Pink Panther, Skatey, Devon Seal, Singing Sonia, Michelle Henry, Mighty Diamond, Saint Nick, Nicole Grace, Mace, JD, Viatenda, Sasha and Moses, Tempo, Black Prince, Nisa, Alana Sinette, Makeda Darius, Lakaman, Mahalia Regis,
Orlando Octave.
Direct from Barbados. Barbados guest artist Mighty Gabby, and a surprise guest. Music by Len Cummings and the Wailers. Chorus by Review Angels. Your MCs Marcus Batiste, Tommy Joseph, and the Chairman. Admission $150. Tickets for Arima Velodrome at Michelle's Fashions, Massey Stores Broadway Arima, and at the door till showtime. Then on Saturday, January 24th, it's the grand opening of the Review Tent at the SWWTU Hall, Rights Road, Port of Spain. Showtime 8 p.m. Admission $200. Tickets for the Port of Spain show at the Review Box Office, SWWTU Hall.
If you want to feel the heart and soul of TNT Carnival, then come to the National Carnival Commission's John Cupid Carnival Village. There's something for everyone. Safe, secure, and family friendly. There's beautiful handmade local crafts on sale, live performances, kaiso, calypso, comedy, soca, chutney, steel pan, and more. Every night from 6 p.m. It's Everything Carnival. NCC's John Cupid Carnival Village, located inside the Queen's Park Savannah, right behind the paddock area. The perfect spot to ease back and relax. And best of all, admission is free. NCC's John Cupid Carnival Village. You're gonna love this.
Rhythms of Truth, a Kaiso story. The grand opening of the world's #1 Calypso tent, Kaiso Showcase 2026. Friday, 23rd January, 8 p.m., Naparima Bowl, San Fernando. Be prepared for a night of Calypso in all its forms. Social, political commentary, humor, pan, chutney, and suggestive sounds. Featuring performances by Queen Victoria, Lady Adana, Pharaoh, Mr. Shaq, Daddy Chinese, Eunice Peters, Calissa Charles Mapp, Alicia Richards, Il Drago, Mr. Mac, Nicholas Lucas, Rivaldo London, Lady Torlish, Carice Pascal, D. Juba, Roxy Singh, Queen Voice, Brother Ramkey, Cassie, Miss Ross, Empress, Medic, Greg, Mr. Lee, Fire Rain. Guest performances by Dev, Durango, Prio, and Raw Tour. Your MC, Damian Melville. Music by Razor Sharp, Chorus, Kaiso Flames. Tickets, advance $200. At the door, $250. Available at Roast and Toast, Superior Street, San Fernando. Athletes by the Park, Togo South Central Office, Mezzanine Floor, Skinner Park, San Fernando. And from executive members. For more information, call 653-5732. Don't miss Rhythms of Truth, a Kaiso story. See you there.
When the carnival pace pick up, Royal Castle is the most tasty and convenient stop.
Welcome to Royal Castle's drive-thru.
Whether we heading to the beach with chicken buckets and sides, having a house line with all the combos and sandwiches, or we stop by the castle to eat before the fete. Royal Castle local flavor is always part of the carnival.
The Lion brand always had a plan, giving great taste all across the land. Pelori fry baked roti and double stew, made with great taste just for me and you. All through the year and all season, Lion brand is the reason. When the Lion brand in the kitchen, we know to mix and move, we're gonna mix and move.
This carnival season, mix and move with the Lion brand of products, the power behind our great taste traditions.
With the Lion brand.
Get ready to immerse yourself in the vibrant rhythms and the joyous spirit of sweet calypso. Join us for an unforgettable experience at the semi-final round of the Calypso Monarch competition. This is Calypso Fiesta. 40 Calypso stars will compete on the Skinner Park stage. Calypso Unleashed, boundless harmonies. Mark your calendars. Saturday, February 7th, 2026. Join us at Skinner Park in San Fernando for an afternoon of pure Calypso magic. Showtime 2 p.m. Tickets available on islandetickets.com or call us at 623-9660. Don't miss out on a chance to experience the rhythm and joy of the Caribbean in 2026. Calypso Unleashed, boundless harmony. This is Calypso Fiesta.
After dynamic opening week performances, this week, Classic Russo returns to their home, City Hall, Knox Street, Port of Spain, with performances by All Rounder, Crazy, Contender, Manchild, Hamidullah, Lady Wonder, Shirlane, Brian London, Twiggy, Dr. Will B, Charlene Bailey, Master G, Mark Eastman, Garth Sinclair, the youthful Kyle Cowie, Andre Nelson, Nefta Kojo, Jay Edwards, and many others. MC Shirlane Hendrickson, chorus by the Classic Russo Diamonds, music music by Classic Russo Orchestra this Wednesday. Then on Thursday night, it's Judges Night. Admission $200 and 2 persons on 1 ticket for $300. Get your tickets at Crosby St. James, Tuco Office, New City Mall, and at the box office on the day of the show. Both shows 8 p.m. And this Friday, Classic Russo rolls into Point Fortin at the Field of Dreams for another massive show. Get your tickets at $150 and 2 persons on 1 ticket for $200 at the venue Field of Dreams box office till showtime at 8 p.m. Classic Russo for Classic Kaiso.
Trinidad and Tobago, get ready for words, wit, and raw lyrical fire. It's Kaiso-Rama 2026, the ultimate extempo and freestyle competition where only the sharpest minds survive. On Monday, February 2nd, the battle begins at Radisson Hotel with the preliminary round at 7 p.m. Watch the nation's best extempo giants go head-to-head, thinking fast, rhyming faster. Then it all comes down to the grand final on Tuesday, February 10th, 7 p.m. at Napa. One crown, one champion, pure lyrical mastery. Think you have what it takes? Registration is now open until Friday, January 30th at all Tuco offices. Tickets, preliminary $150, grand final $250. Don't miss the clash of culture, creativity, and calypso brilliance. Kaiso-Rama 2026, where lyrics rule and legends are born. Kaiso-Rama!
Everyone getting our rage like an escape from a cage. We don't care who fall when we run in the wall. We go leave the roof when we live off the roof. Hey, Mr. Promoter, you don't get your quota. And how come you place in a disaster? You is the jab master from the area, but I take away it. You is a hypocrite. Come now the way, mash up the place. Everybody, cheer up the place. That's what I say, turn up the place. We got permission to F up the place. Then we start a riot. The place too quiet. Everyone getting a rage like an escape from a cage. We don't care who fall when we run in the wall. We go leave the roof when we live off the roof. Hey, young lady, you're looking so pretty, and I find you looking cute in your jab suit. I go tell you straight, and I go tell you flat. A real jab woman don't move tame like that. Come now the way, mash up the place. Everybody, cheer up the place. That's what I say, turn up the place. We got permission to F up the place. Then we start a riot. The place too quiet. Everyone getting a rage like an escape from a cage. We don't care who fall when we run in the wall. We go leave the roof when we live off the roof. I want back my money, party done early, and the police come and run me. Do you think that's fair? Do you think that's right? In my pocket, I have a dynamite. Come now the way, mash up the place. Everybody, cheer up the place. That's what I say, turn up the place. We got permission to F up the place. Then we start a riot. The place too quiet. Everyone getting a rage like an escape from a cage. We don't care who fall when we run in the wall. We go leave the roof when we live off the roof. Mash up the place. Tear up the place. Turn up the place. We got permission to F up the place.
This carnival season, come hungry and leave in love. Welcome to Flavor, a carnival culinary experience like no other. Every evening, the Queen's Park Savannah transforms into a vibrant village of food, culture, and celebration. Taste the best of Trinidad and Tobago with local street food, gourmet chefs, live cooking demos, cultural performances, and family-friendly experiences, all in one place. Join us at Flavor Village, Queen's Park Savannah, every day from 4 p.m. TNT, you're gonna love this.
Share the live. The Street 919 FM on Facebook and Instagram. Share the live. Iowa George on Instagram. Share the live. Iowa TV and Street TV on YouTube. Share the live. The Street 919 FM.
This Wednesday, Classic Russo returns home to City Hall Auditorium, Knox Street, Port of Spain. Thursday is Judges Night. Tickets $200. Or bring a friend or two or $300. Bring 2 friends for $300. Friday, Classic Russo rolls into Port 14 at Field of Dreams. $150 per person or 2 for $200. Get your tickets now at Crosby, St. James and all Tuco offices. Experience the legends, all-rounder, Crazy, Contender, Lady Wonder, Queen Charlene, Brian Lunder, Twiggy, and the new wave of talent including Sean and Charlene Bailey, Master G, Kaiso Mack, Nefta Kojo, and extempo sensation Niall Manswell. Hosted by Shirlene Hendrickson, powered by the Classic Russo Band. The Classic Russo Calypso Tent, where icons meet the next generation. Don't miss it. So you have Classic Calypso going on still,
So
okay?
I haven't gone there as yet.
Yeah, I need to go to
Something
one.
I need to visit.
It's not always jam and wine.
Yeah. Iwer call we and talk to we now, man.
Yes.
Help a boy out.
Where's the soca man? Where's the water man? That's the water man.
Yeah.
So there has been a particular issue in a secondary school in Faizabad concerning hairstyle. Again. I say again because this is not the first time we've had issues of hair. And what the school determines to be appropriate or inappropriate, long, short, blue, green, etc. Unfortunately, it has become a social media issue, or maybe fortunately, so that's how we're going to learn. So, the net result is a child being debarred or threatened to be debarred from school because of wearing a certain hairstyle. Circumstances like those are not uncommon in the education system. But as the ministry policy says, which is very vague, and deliberately so.
Because the ministry don't want to face any liability as it relates to lawsuits,
Correct.
people, constitutional rights, and that kind of thing. But, you know...
But seemingly, principals and administrators in the schools have a different opinion.
Well, the thing is, if I could comment on this,
yes,
you heard a lot of the callers said earlier on, charity begins at home.
Yeah.
Right? And a parent must know what looks inappropriate from what do look inappropriate. And if there is not a if there is no parents, then that's a different kind of problem.
Then you have two problems and not one.
Two problems in one, right? And it was a former prime minister and president of this country said small stream go into drains, go into small stream flow into the river flow into the ocean.
Yes.
And one thing does lead to another. So there's also the question of morality. There's also the question of, so the moralists will say one thing as it relates to thing, but then you have the person who would look at what the law is and what a person's rights are, and that kind of thing. So it's interesting to hear what the public have to say about this, because if left up to the schools alone, they will have their say, but they may run into some legal problems and some other problems down the road. So, what do we do? How do we curtail the probably impending disaster that may befall the system or morals and everything?
So just like we asked in the first session, is there a problem? And we wanted an answer to that because we wanted a very straightforward answer. We want to do that in the second issue, in the second scenario, with the discussion on school children and they hear. Do we accept the stereotype that your presentation, your physical presentation, that is to say, i.e., your hair in this case, often fits the stereotype of certain types of behavior, certain types of conduct, negatively so, by the way, in this society? Good afternoon, caller.
Good afternoon, gentlemen, and good afternoon, dear listeners. You know, this is a scenario where you really had to take your time and unpack it. The thing about it is, in education or in educating people, there must be some sort of discipline in place in order for you to properly educate people, right? Now, with the removal of what we would call the corporal punishment, I think some teachers would use whatever guidelines they have, right, to try to still gain some discipline amongst the children. Unfortunately, this matter in particular needs to be looked at because there is no one hairstyle that you could just say, okay, this is the hairstyle.
A man warning you in the back there, boy.
Oh, yeah, and I need the bread man passing.
Yes. Stop serious warning again.
Yeah, am I good now, right? Yes, I'm saying there's no one hairstyle that you could put on a picture and say everybody have to use this hairstyle and this is what is acceptable, right? And the thing is, your image really have no bearing on your ability to learn and if you would actually learn or not, right? But I think that sometimes we end up throwing away the baby with the bathwater, right? I mean, we could do away with this thing with hair and try to have some other measure in place to attain the discipline required for persons to learn. But just looking at whatever image you choose to look at and call it acceptable or unacceptable, it's really difficult, especially when you're dealing with a variety of types of hairs, right? Because one person or two people with different types of hair, one might seem acceptable and the next one may seem unacceptable, but it's growing in the same manner or whatever. It's just two different textures of hair, so it will appear differently to the eyes of the beholder. But I think what is really missing that the teacher is trying to get at is the discipline that is required amongst people that you're in charge of teaching or trying to teach. And unfortunately, not everybody have the wherewithal to come up with strategic measures that will work in place of what isn't there anymore, right? Some people throw up their hands in the air. Some people go too hard on trivial matters. But it's something that we really need to unpack and really get a handle on if it is the image of the students really have any bearing on how they learn or how we teach them, and do we need to come up with a different measure to implement the discipline amongst the students? I'll leave it there, gentlemen.
Good afternoon, caller.
Hi, good afternoon, Umpire Matterson, Dennis Thompson, or Umpire Ronaldo at Square. Very good topic this afternoon. But on the first topic, I think Calypsonian brother Valentino summed it up right. It's saying that singing the Kaiso, this place nice. Yeah? Yeah, you know, because he had it straight on and correct. Because you see, in a society, family is an important tenet. And if you don't have a good family structure, everything else starts to collapse. From religion get tied up in it and everything get collapsed. As a young boy going to school, but I hardly get licks in my father's house, and I hardly get licks in school. I can remember one time I got licks in primary school because I used to do my homework as I reach home. And I used to get my homework right. Secondary school, I got licks at it once, I remember, for talking in class. Yeah. But I grew up disciplined in that my parents were very disciplined people. And I grew up in the village, as I said in Blanchard before, when you're growing up in those days, in the 60s, you had to walk a straight road. When you walk in the road every morning, everybody you meet, if you meet a gang of workers working 12 members, you have to tell everybody in the village every morning. You just can't walk through the people and go about your business. On top of that, they had a very good work culture in those days. People working like works and the county council in those days, they work full from a full 8 hours from 7 to 4. They get a break 10 o'clock, a break 10 o'clock, and they get a lunch hour. So people like me, we grew up in a culture of hard work, right? And unlike the people who grew up in other areas in Trinidad, now we're talking about the breakdown in discipline in this country. One of the places you have to look at is the former DUDE program. Now that DUDE program was made to assist people in need, right? But eventually end up in a whole scenario where, working hours, show people had to work 9 and 10 and 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock, and work is over, right? You had all kind of extramarital activities in that program. You had people taking money, offering people jobs, and it was a total breakdown. That is why it was closed down and when the NARU came in 1986. Before that, you had the Best Village or the Crash program. But that program also ended up in a similar situation. That is why the DUDE evolved was a derivative of it. So the DUDE program was a derivative of the Best Village program or the Crash program they call it. So we have to look at all of this, all these breakdowns and in religion. We were up in a village in those days. Mostly the people were mostly Catholics, and the priests used to make overtures to people and make sure once you live in a man and a woman living, you get married, right? So there were hardly people living common law and all this kind of thing in the 60s. Well, as far as I know.
So call her the sponsor in here too?
Well, of course, if you're broken and you go to the priest and tell him, all right, yeah, Father, I need a little change for my wedding. The priest will do it. Let me tell you something. When I passed one entrance in 1969 from Blanchard's government school to go college in Arriva, my father didn't have no money. He was working in the county council as a laborer, and he went to the priest, and the priest lent him about $50 from the priest, and I was able to get all my first year books. Yeah, from the Catholic priest, a gentleman by the name of Father Vincent Kennedy. I was acolyte in the church too, right? Yeah, because I was fortunate. I served Master Pantin when he came as bishop in 1968. He came to a place they called Brasso Seco, which was out parish from Lancashire, and I served Mass there at the Brasso Seco RC Church for Pantin when we came as bishop. That was one of the first places he visited after he was sworn in as or he was elevated as Bishop of Trinidad and Tobago. So that people doesn't like to hear that, right? But that family structure, that dysfunctional family, another input is that 1973 oil boom when everybody in Trinidad became a big shot, and that is why neighbors start to lessen on the kind of interpersonal relationship with neighbor in those days, right? From 1973 coming up, and all this turned the tide in Trinidad and Tobago. So there's a lot of issues. That is why we're here today. As a schoolboy, I had to wear a pattern in my head, primary school and secondary school. In fact, I wore a pattern in my head until I was 50 years. Because a normal thing for when I come in my head to put a pattern in my head.
Yeah, I remember that.
Right?
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, you had your finger. Yeah, your fingernail, right? Your fingernail before you go in class, when they had assembly, right? You stretch out, you stretch out your hand, and if the teacher find your nail with any, they will hit you with a ruler on your knuckles.
On your knuckles.
Right? Yeah.
And them time
Right?
I had
So
corporal
all
punishment.
Can't try that again.
I had a teacher called Mr. Bradford, but I couldn't. He used to have a go over whip, but a thick one. You stick by here, get it click.
Of course. Well, when I was going to a preschool up in Blanchard's up there, the lady we used to call her Lynn. Her name was Elena Cooper, but we used to call her Lynn. And she had a strap, a leather strap they called Jacko. And when she dropped that,
you whine.
She dropped that. Well, she said, anybody, try to get on kind of indiscipline and thing. She said, hey, look, Jacko here, Well, I never got licks from Jacko because up to the day I learned discipline from early in life.
You was a conformist. You was a very obedient student.
You was a cadet.
Well, yes, I grew up, kind of with loyalty and love in my heart and walking on the straight road. I mean, I made some bends in my life myself, but I more or less was cultivated on the straight and narrow road. Yeah, so that is how it is. And we have to look, at all these things. The society went from bad to worse.
So, Kola, what is your take on the hair issue in schools? What's your take on it?
Well, the school has its standard, right? And every student, must obey the school standard. You can't be.
Okay, so if I tell you a story, I mean, I have a son, right?
Yeah.
He is a medical doctor. He went to St. Mary's, and I look at his hairstyle from then to now, all through UV and med school and thing. And his hairstyle was kind of like something modern, half ras, half, punk kind of thing. But he still, studied, and he studied medicine, and he did well.
Well, you see, your hair don't make hair to say that because your hair anyhow that you are done so not like that. But you see, the school has standard, and that is where the religious schools and them they bring out the best students up to now, especially the Presbyterian Church. I don't know what they're doing, but they're bringing out the best students right now, the Naparimas, right? And then every lecture with the presentation colleges and them, right? We right? So I am still saying that religion should be brought back in schools, or just farm out all the schools to the religious sector. Let Baptist take school, let Pentecostal take, Adventist take school, and see what's happening. Even at Tobago, the majority of Tobago, most Tobagoans are Seventh-day Adventists, and that is why Tobago, you don't have, it have a little bit, but not in that quantity of indiscipline, as down here in Trinidad.
But Kola, we ask the question whether you see a correlation between how some of these Afro males or young people dress and the stereotypes that exist in the criminal world.
Well, of course, there is a correlation, and that correlation comes from the American culture. Remember cable TV, right? And player has a big played a big dent in changing Trinidad culture. Imagine if you hear a 10-year-old speak in Trinidad now, they do not speak like me. You swear it's somebody who grew up in Brooklyn or somewhere in America. The tone, right? All these things stand up, right? Oh, for example, Mr. Son Grandy, as Madison talk, I know he has a Grandy twang in him. Right? If you hear somebody from Point Feta talk, you'll pay it. You see, you from Point Feta, you'll pick it up, you'll pick it up.
We say he can't hide, he can't
hide. You can't hide it. And I didn't realize that but through working in the local government system and going to different areas, I didn't realize that certain areas in Trinidad, they had their own twang.
Yeah.
Just what Tobago has its own twang.
From deep south, as opposed to somebody from Port of Spain, as opposed to somebody from Tobago, somebody from Toco. There are some things to say that, you know, represents the community.
Identity. Yeah, you have identity. You have a community identity.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Because look at something. Urban ranchers in those days when they're growing up, the people said never say for him. They say for him. Like if I say, well, like, give him this, they will say, give him this. You understand? They never say for him. They said him. Yeah. Until Calypso then Popo, he and all have a song, and snake in the bag. Well, Popo had roots some ranchers too. He might be a pumpkin vine family and my own. And in his Calypso, he never said him. He said him for him. Yeah. So you know, that's the cultural identity. Right? But I realized too that I don't know, but maybe I know some of the principals I do not know. I seen some young boys going to school. They hear, you know, like a dada head. We used to call it long time. You understand? And I don't know why these things. Why you have to maintain this thing? I mean, they have court now, and you know, different legal action people could take for discrimination and all kind of things.
Even when in the days you're talking about, you know, the Rastafarian movement the hairstyle wasn't really accepted, you know, to the extent that it is now. But and that was still seen that we could still say that it's a kind of religious kind of organization, right? Rastafarianism, right? But you now have a lot of people straight up to Parliament wearing a Rastafarian hairstyle. And some variants of it.
Yeah. But in my school, my college, you couldn't go there with no Rasta. Right? And I talk about the 70s. You had to conform with the priests and them rules. You had to wear your part, your clothes properly ironed, your shirt and your pants, right? You come to school with books. No student could share no book with no peak body there. You had to have your own books, right? Because no teacher waiting on you to say, all right, you know, to help this one and that kind of thing. So it was a different, you know, a different scenario, you know, to know, right? And of course, you had sports. Larry Gomes and Phil Simmons, the cricketer, all these were students from my school. Yeah, well, Larry Gomes older than me, I older than Phil Simmons. And we have a lot of sportsmen came from my school. Yeah, you had to follow those rules, brother. Otherwise, when they had to lock that gate in the morning, when they put you up, that's you come to school late, you have to go back home and get a letter from your parents stating why you came. No, that's fact. Why you came to school late.
Sometimes you walk to school, eh?
Yeah, sometimes you walk. Sometimes, them days, not everybody had cars dropping them home to school direct. People, most of the school children used to had to walk up Calvary Hill in those days. Yeah. No, people students now taking taxi by the bottom of Woodford Street and they're going up Calvary Hill. In my days, you had to walk from the Congo. People walking from all the Congo.
You know, that walk might have been a lot for you in those days, but that ain't really far, you know. From Woodford Street up Calvary Hill, that ain't really far. That is probably just about probably a quarter mile or something.
No, it ain't far. But I talk about students coming from all in the Congo and walking up, passing the cemetery and going up to Netoville and up the hill to Calvary Hill.
Yeah.
Right?
And Holy Cross.
And that was the kind of, the Holy Cross here. Yeah. And that was the kind of discipline people had. You couldn't skylark, boy. Yeah. So, but you see, again, I'm ending with the fact that there's a lot of different waves, societal waves that cause the breakdown that we in this situation today. Right?
All right.
And then we have to realize we have a rural type government now. Because remember the UNC started as a rural party and descended into Port of Spain, and the governance will be different to what people understand that, right? Because it's a more developmental type of government, right? And a more I want to use the word caring, you know, too.
But not everybody will agree with that.
Correct.
But clearly, what you see they're doing, you're seeing some kind of vision in it. And as I say, not everybody will agree with it, but different times I saw one of the headlines on the newspaper, gas price coming.
Well, you see, in politics, whatever what you do, you always have the opposition. Eh? Whatever you do in politics. Look, Trump, look how people oppose Trump. Right? Whatever what you do in politics, you have to have what they call a thick skin kind of a culture, because people watch a thing different. And then people are going to enjoying themselves, other people know, to criticize somebody, whether they do good or bad. So it's a kind of thankless kind of, politics is a kind of thankless kind of a profession, you know. But some people use it, you know, for their own gain and things. But when you really check it, if you're an honest politician, you could do nothing good. I remember we had a friend named Bertie Fraser, who was the first musical anthropologist from Trinidad. He represented Arima in the 1971 No Vote campaign. And he ended up Arima almost begging arms. Yeah, because he got some ministerial post there, and he didn't, you know, I don't know if he had prepared himself for after politics or whatever it was. Yeah, so it's all these things we have to watch out, man. Anyhow, let me go before them rapporteurs and them start to come behind me.
All right, thanks, caller. Good afternoon, caller.
Two things, right? Respectfully, Mr. Match Referee, Mr. Locketa, I just wish you would consider that it's not you alone in the pavilion, right? The next thing is, you speak about some of the hairstyles that the young men are wearing to school today, how it matches the stereotype of many of the persons committing crimes, right? However, I wish to point out, we have other categories, right?
We're not hearing your caller.
Caller us on your phone.
Yeah, caller, we lose you. I will just take President meanwhile. Good afternoon, caller.
Yeah, good afternoon, Ronaldo. Again, good afternoon, Stephen. Again, good afternoon, Trinidad and Tobago. You know, but I just get frustrated sometimes. I can't quarrel on things, you know, but I get frustrated sometimes, you know. Or you ask a question, they give a lot of people a chance to able to answer the question. And somebody they're going wrong and this and yes, you're educated, we understand you're educated, but give somebody a chance to put in the piece of now. It's about half an hour ago you talk. Look, what's happening? Let me go to this topic because I understand everybody understand what I just said. Here, you see what's going on, eh? The position that you're talking about, them schools, I, as a 60 and change, I will tell you something, Francoman. It's have discipline that's supposed to be in position. Now, you have, let me say you have 3 different classes of school, which is one from 1 year to when you reach 10 years. From 10 years to when you reach 20. From 20 to when you reach 30. Let me say that 3 different classes. If you have to go to school with ribbon, from 1 year to 10 years, it's a ribbon you have to go. If when you reach from 10 years to 20 years, your outlook, your whole life is changed. From 12 years, a child started to look for boyfriend and girlfriend. Now, there's where the thing that has to happen with the parents. If the parents watching, good to see the changes in the child. And in that so doing, the parents are supposed to be able to say, well, look, child, your child still, you're only just because you get big, don't feel that you could go to school with anyhow, because the school desire and require for a certain discipline. Now, these are the things like one time talking, these are the things that we're talking about. When you start to go from university now, that's about the problem, because you can't go with a miniskirt in university. You still have to go presentable. Now, these are the places you have to watch to understand how to grow with the child. And if you can't look at these different differences, then you will have a problem. Now, I'm not saying that a child can move from puberty stage to a bigger stage, but the parent and the teachers and the school supposed to be able to understand that program and come together. When they talk about parent-teachers meeting, how much people does go parent-teachers meeting to be able to say they go to have a good conversation with the teachers and them as parents to be able to understand the growth of it? Because you know, like I said earlier on in the other program, it's children making children that making children, they even care how the hell, whatever thing the point, because the children, they're doing the same thing like the children. So what do they expect? It's a whole program that you think that discipline, if you intend to have discipline as that in school, it goes by category.
And as long as you could recognize the category of children to know that they're growing, and once they're growing, they will look to accept what they see on the internet and all of that back and all. And then so then you're ready to make the movement. But an adjustment with conversation must happen. I will leave it there.
Thank you, Ko. Good afternoon, caller.
Yes, my second point, right, was speaking about the stereotyping of the hairstyle and how some people who involved in crime have the same hairstyles that some of the young men choose to go to school with. I want to highlight, however, that there are other categories of crime where you could find well-dressed people, right? And we tend to focus too much in that aspect of things. But if I was a teacher, and this is from my point of view, it wouldn't matter to me how you appear, whatever hairstyle you're wearing, whether you have hair or not. What would matter to me is how disciplined you are in the classroom, if you are disruptive in the classroom, and things like that. I think that we, once again, we have to spend time on a trivial matter because some of the people that have power do not understand the need to fuse this power with some wisdom and use it in how you operate or how you choose to operate. It really doesn't matter what hairstyle you have or don't have. If you are presenting yourself to learn and you are doing that in the in an acceptable manner, by all means wear whatever you want on your head. But it would take time for us to get to that place, but we have to be honest as a nation, right? Because as I say, it wouldn't make much sense for us to have some strict guidelines for this hair thing, especially when it's a number of different types of hair we're speaking about. So that's just my take on it. As I say, I don't really find that's supposed to really stop somebody from having the access to learn, but it's supposed to have other measures in place to gain discipline if the children are disruptive or whatever. But hairstyle is minor things, man. All of them.
Good afternoon, caller. Good afternoon, caller.
Good afternoon. I do believe that rules ought to be kept, and if children are not taught to obey rules, they will grow up out of order and they will believe they can do anything they can. However, the hairstyle situation in a school is a very ticklish one, in that you have folks straight African hairstyle, you have the mixed hairstyle, you have the Indians, you have the Chinese. It is a very, very ticklish situation. And I think as principal and they handling a situation like that, they should handle it with gloves because it could go out of hand by those who put in all the rule and by those who are asked to obey the rule. So the parents and the teachers should come together and discuss certain things concerning the hairstyle, because the hairstyle which may be appropriate for an Indian boy or an Indian girl may not be appropriate for another race. So they should sit together and iron out that situation. As I said, it is a very ticklish one, and I will also say rules ought to be kept and parents should teach their children to obey rules and go as far as possible to obey rules. Thank you very much.
Good afternoon, caller.
Good afternoon to you and to everybody on the panel and the station and Trinidad and Tobago.
Afternoon.
Now, what I want to say is etiquette is something you have to teach children. I mean, some might learn on their own. They might sit in and pick up on their own. But place and time for everything. And sometimes you have to show children, well, this is a formal style of dressing. That is a casual style of dressing. You do the suit, wear, and whatever. You're going to church, I expect you to go to church with a short pants and you understand? Or you could go anyhow because it's here when they have not a garment. But you know, if you're a formal setting you're going to, you have to learn to eat with a knife and fork, all those things you have to learn. And somebody has to teach you. I mean, there's someone like to get up on their own. You understand? So, hairstyle, I wear many hairstyles in my life. Bald head, I wear braid, flat top, fat head, all different times. Place and time, right, when you buy hair long, I fix it to suit. You know? So you're here long and you're going to school, you want to do certain things not to distract others. And if the school requires certain things, you follow the rules. Everything have rules. Every place have rules. You understand? You may go out to eat and you see people doing knife and fork, you don't know. I do sometimes too, but the certain I do that spoon. When I come from that spoon, I look in back. You understand? Next time I say, you know something? Let me show them that I could eat with knife and fork. So those are things you gotta learn. Along, yeah. So the man have a good hairstyle is I feel the parents have to encourage that to let them know place and time for everything. Hello? Yes.
Thank you, caller. The number to call is 3420081.
So
yes, sir. Good afternoon, caller.
Good afternoon. Ronaldo, I'm my partner, Marcusson. Oh, Marcusson.
Oi, what happened? KFC.
I see the radio station going good, man. Because for the last 9 years, they tell a man to call Mova Defender, he was crying out for ad and this and that. But I'm glad for the opportunities where the station get in. Because I was toiling and fighting against the last regime. And me getting that opportunities. And we talk and saying they laugh out loud, ha ha. Like if I clear track for Gucci to run. Because I'm knocking on doors and I'm doing the right thing and I'm going out there. And like they're blowing black smoke in my face. Because I can only come out and talk and say something. I don't defend no political party. I have no party card. I come in and talk my mind how I see it. Because I want to speak out. Because I see the unjust and the wickedness what they're doing to the poor people. They take away all these jobs and all this. And nothing for the ground and talking about zone of this and zone of that. When a man hungry and he hungry and when he be trying behind the back. And no opportunities and crime out and going all day. Them encouraging crime. So I look to and listen and bless.
Yeah. Well, a school here policy, in my opinion, is not really a bad thing. But I think it should extend to the teachers should have the position of the teacher should be considered in administering what might be good for their class or not. So while you see, a school policy might be good for some people, and it may discriminate against some other people. A policy, a general policy. So I think it should be left to the discretion of the teachers and the parents also. Parents must also understand what might be inappropriate for a child to go to school with, right? And if you can't understand that to the fact that to the point that a teacher have to report that, then we have a problem. It's just like wearing a skirt, a shorter skirt or a tighter pants or anything in the workplace or anywhere. It's the same thing, your seniors or your HR or whoever should not have to tell you that, hey, this is inappropriate. Right? You must have that, whole moral compass within you to decide or to know that this is not appropriate for school or for where I'm going, and maybe I shouldn't wear that.
And I have said that the issue, that particular issue, is an adult issue. Good afternoon, Paul.
Good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon.
Yes, man. I am the guy in prison. And I'm saying that let's take a look at the man in the mirror. I'm asking to change his ways. And discipline is knowing and doing what is correct and see that others do likewise. Let us stop behind the bush here, looking after our young ones and making sure that they grow up in the right way. They grow up with discipline. I hear a caller just earlier on mention that spoke like this. Family yourself anywhere that matters. It matters. I just said discipline is knowing and doing what is correct and see that others do likewise. So we adults ought to be role models. I see men working on TikTok, men working on research, and the pants selling over the top. Who employ these fellas, right? And all they want to blame these young people. When we supposed to encourage them, inculcate good habits and behavioral discipline, if you want to use that word, and have them aware that this is not the style you are going to accept for them to represent your company, factory, or industry as it is in. We adults, my friend. Captain, the ship is sinking. Captain, the ship is us. Where do we go from here? I just thought I heard Mr. President mention one time, or mention my name because he's a man I used to try to help crime, go giving out mentors, all kind of things. But you see, when we push paper out, we don't need one name in the email, and then we take him out of the school curriculum. I didn't know what many of these things were talking about him. When I went to school, it was at 5 years. It didn't have no private school. At the age of 5, I started to go to school. And it was different, totally different, you know. We parents, brother, I just mentioned, we building nice today because we want the dogs here. Brother, parents, we have a greater role than we think, brother. The radio stations we listen, the music we listen, the radio stations we listen, the places you go, the music we listen and the friends we keep is connected to our destination. My friend, I think I want to compliment you for having a healthy, nice, intelligent program, and let us be each other's brother keeper. Doctor, my friend.
Thank you.
So we under a minute here, Senior Matheson, take us.
Yeah, we had as the caller just said, we had a very informative show this evening. There are a lot of other things that we would have liked to talk about, to touch on, especially the fact that especially more or less to delve in some of the comments made by the Prime Minister with regards to the condemnation of the senators, the independent senators in particular.
Yes, I did come prepared to talk about that.
And that is something I would like to go on to talk a little more about tomorrow, because that is of some concern. And some of the other issues in relation to that particular issue, that is the zone of special operations.
Yes, we can get into some more details.
But time is upon us. We are
Yes.
out of time now, and hopefully we will be able to discuss it or further elucidate on it tomorrow.
So definitely join us tomorrow on the Third Empire. Do have a good afternoon. God bless.
Tune in to the Street 919 FM for Gospel in the Bone Ministry every Sunday from 7